heart, so success comes back.
I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist.
Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward it.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but I was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself.
I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved.
We have money, we have everything, we have fame. But the most important thing is the family. Keep your family healthy, good, and take care of your family, because this is the most important thing in the world.
Failing to prepare was preparing to fail. The night before a game, I ate the same food. I went to bed at the same time. I got up, I ate the same breakfast. Some people call it superstition, but it's a routine.
I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope.
Because you might be actually not feeling great physically or mentally, you're drained, but the confidence somehow gets you through. And when you don't have confidence, that's then when you have to sort of trust all the hard work you've done, and you have to keep on working hard, so success comes back.
I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist.
Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward that goal, and don't let anything or anyone stop you in the process, no matter what it is.
I didn't really care about the standings or, the perception of my style or whatever, as long as I could keep learning these new tricks. And so as I was successful in competition and winning a lot of the events, my job...
Hey guys, how we all doing? This is Lance Lisciotti with the Make a Score Tour. I'm here at Rax Billiards for semifinals number 2 of the Cooper Cup. We have Natural Born Killers versus G-Force. Race to 7 sets. This is the first match team event. Every player plays 1 rack until a team reaches 6 games. I'm joined in the booth by Dan Usello. How we doing tonight, Dan?
Yeah, not too bad. Feeling good about this matchup. Got 2 exciting teams. I think the folks at home are going to really enjoy what they see today.
Yeah, I totally agree. We had a pretty good one last week, and I expect a good one this week.
Yeah, this one might even be better than the one last week, unfortunately for me.
Yeah. Guys, please like and share the stream if you can. I'm gonna be doing some sharing over the next couple minutes, so just bear with me while I do that. If you'd like to share as well, it'd be tremendous help.
All right, so it looks like Natural Born Killers won the lag. So this is going to be alternating break, folks, at home. And it looks like Kevin's going to start running. He's going up against Gene Hunt. These are the 2 captains of Natural Born Killers and G-Force accordingly. Looks like Kevin played a safe there instead of a push. I like that. He's looking real good. Gene's got some work to do here. Now, the team rotation event, I always feel like this is one where the underdog, if you will, can get a steal. Because you're racing to 1. Every player's racing to 1, and anybody can run out in a 9-ball rack. Or at least anybody here can run out in a 9-ball rack. And so it's hard to predict who's going to get the edge here. Folks at home, if you have any predictions for who will win the team rotation, if you have any predictions for who's going to win the weekend, feel free to put that in our chat. Hey, Sarah Archer, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Rob Sloda joining us as well.
Sarah Archer, thank you very much for the 200 stars. How you doing today? You did a great job scorekeeping everything last week.
Yeah, and even got called in for a little bit of refereeing work.
Yeah.
Which was really appreciated. So we appreciate that, Sarah.
Yeah, she did a great job. Who was it today that's doing that?
So Karen Fonseca is going to be our timekeeper, but they do have she felt uncomfortable doing both jobs at the same time, so
Right.
they're going to have Gabe Smith doing the refereeing duties. Now, what I was told before we started was if the opposing team calls for a referee to look at a shot, the timekeeper will stop the clock until the referee arrives at the table. And then at that point, it will restart again. So if folks see like a delay in the clock, that's what's going on there. All right, tough shot on the 2 for Kevin. He's got to vacate the 8-ball. Do you have any favorites in this, Lance? You think one team's got an advantage roster-wise over the other?
I'll be dead honest with you. I haven't analyzed it like real thoroughly. I've looked at it quick enough where to me it looks like a very good battle. Both teams are very deep, in my opinion, at least. Typically, a lot of the times you see a team that gets a little weak at the back end, and that's where you see an advantage. But to me, both teams are super well-rounded. I think they were drafted very well. I'd have to look deeper at who's playing what game and where the matchups come and all that, but just a quick look, it looks to me like it's going to be like a 7-5, 7-6 type of win one way or another.
Yeah, I mean that's probably going to be the way it goes. I was thinking 7-5 or so. For me, it depends on which Brandon Ryan you get for G-Force and which Dave Sheehan you get for Natural Born Killers. And I think those two players, they have a really, really nice A+ game. And whether or not they access it over the weekend is going to be a key. All right, so it was an unfortunate scratch for Gene Hunt. Oh boy, that looked like a miscue. Did he just jump the ball?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he miscued or something goofy happened there, because that ball was hit very fat for a straight-in shot. Yeah. And he did have to draw back, but not very much. So I think something goofy happened there.
Yeah, overloaded the draw, probably miscued. I'll tell you what, he didn't end up too bad for it. Gene's got a kick away. All right, Rob Sloda thinks Natural Born Killers 7-4. And that's kind of, I'm thinking 7-5 Natural Born Killers, Rob. But if we get the Brandon Ryan that I know he can access, all bets are off.
Yeah, I've seen him play real good at times. He's beaten me at least once that I can remember off the top of my head.
All right, so Kevin looking to jump out, take advantage, and give his team a 1-0 lead here.
Always nice to win the opening rack, opening point especially.
Yeah.
Takes a little anxiety off, and it's always it's good for team morale as well,
Yeah, the speed's getting away from Kevin a little bit, but I mean he's good enough to make this cut.
Yeah, so with the conditions of the table, which it's new cloth as of about 2 weeks ago or so.
Yep.
And so I expect some loose cue ball play, but very good shot making, because the pockets are going to play a little bigger than normal. But since the cue ball is going to be loose, you're going to see tougher shots than normal.
Right.
So you might see, more misses than normal, but you'll see balls that aren't struck very well that still go in.
Right. All right, so up the table, we're seeing Brandon Ryan from G-Force, and this is the guy that I was focusing on. Let's see, he'll have the break, because it's alternating break format. We'll see how he gets off, if he can get to bring his team back to a 1-1 tie here. and he's going to be going up against the #1 pick on Natural Born Killers, which is the owner and proprietor, Pete Brown.
Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete, or as I like to call him, Downtown Peter Brown.
Baddest man in the whole damn town.
That's right. We're going to have some fun in the booth, Lance.
Yeah, it's always a fun thing.
I don't know if anybody else is going to have fun, but we're going to have fun.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's right.
It's all about us.
That's right. And you're doing some great things for the Make a Score Tour. Have you? Are there still open slots for the tournament coming up next week?
Yeah, surprisingly, there's quite a few. I'll tell you right now. There's I only have 35 out of 64 paid right now. Now I do have at least 20 people saying, you know, I'm going to get you the money in a couple days, but you never know how that works. I would strongly anticipate. I'd be shocked if it fell under 50 for sure. And even with 50, it's still strong money. And it's not as long of a day for everybody as well. So I would love to fill every tournament, but let's be real. Eventually, one's not going to fill.
Sure.
And but as long as it gets 50 or higher, where the money's still very good and it's worth people's travel, I have no issues with it, you know.
And for the folks at home that are considering it, but they're worried about maybe the killers that they're going to see there, you know, Guimond and Bausch and all that, we're going to be going at what, R5 medium, I think, right?
R5 medium, winners and loser side. So what's so unpredictable about signing up with the tournaments is I just did R5 hot here a couple months ago, and it filled up in like 4 days.
Right.
And R5 medium, half the races are exactly the same as R5 hot. It's almost
5-4 races, but yeah.
It's almost like people are like, oh, R5 medium, I can't win. Half the races are still the same as R5 hot. It's just 9-footers compared to 7s.
For sure. Yeah.
But I think it has. I don't think it's because people are scared of the handicap. I think the handicap's pretty good, but I think it might be the money this time. A lot of people just came back from the expo. A lot of pool going on.
Sure.
And we all know the economy and cost of living is high right now.
For sure.
I might do something like a $60 entry type of tournament down the road. You know, I might do like a 60 tournament and then like a 120 here or there where it's like a double, like a special, you know, like the Underdog Open 120.
Yeah.
Larry Lisciotti Memorial 120.
Right.
You know, something big 120.
Sure.
And then do some, all right, guys, let's do some 60s here and appeal to everybody. And
let's make a half score.
Yeah,
you know?
half a score.
Make a half score.
Right.
Well, Brandon Ryan was looking good, but unfortunately rattled the 4-ball. And let's see if Pete Brown, the #1 draft pick for Natural Born Killers, will jump on this. Things are looking pretty open for him. Here's the shot of the rack, I think. And Pete handled that pretty well. Yeah, that speed is getting away from folks, isn't it?
Yeah, he felt perfect here, though. Roll this in just a hair, go a little bit beyond the 6,
Sure.
just, you know, have a tiny angle on the 7. Even if you were to get dead straight, it's no big deal. But nothing wrong with that. Now, you probably have to slow roll it instead of comfortably hitting it, but no big deal.
Sometimes I like go back and forth on these things.
Yeah.
Just to let it out.
Shots like this is where the pocket plays real big.
Right.
So that's why I'd probably roll it like low left. Ooh.
Yeah, see, when you cued low on that.
Gareth in the chat. What's up, Gareth? How
Hey,
doing?
Gareth Jones. What's going on, man? You banking here, playing safe? What do you think? Do you think you just slice that?
Yeah, I would slice it with the cloth, with the pockets playing big. You know,
the shelf isn't as bad as it used to be, right?
Right. I mean, you still got to hit it good. You know, you can't just slam it into the rail here. But it's a thin cut, but you're close to it, and there's no scratch really, unless you put some left on it and zigzag back and forth in a side pocket.
Surprised he's not taking an extension here.
I like this with a little bit of inside English, so he played safe.
And I like that safe. I like it. That's probably what I might have chosen to do. I don't know. It's hard to tell. When you're not on the table, you can't see the angle.
Yeah, I'll tell you, too, hard to get up there and slice that one in first rack of the day, too.
Right.
You know, that's more of a shot where you want your grounding already, where you know if you're either hitting the ball good, bad, or somewhere in between. And so, yeah, I actually like that safety here, but I would have liked it a lot more had that 7 stayed lower, because Pete is going in on the 7. The question is, does he make it and does he hit the 9? So he made it and hit the 9. Still has a pretty decent look, but this is no gimme.
No.
This is where the new cloth doesn't help you with the pockets playing bigger.
On the back cuts.
Yeah, well, anytime the ball's towards like the center of the table, you have to hit it into the pocket. You can't really use the rail at all.
Right, right.
So the pocket on new cloth will play a little smaller here.
If Pete's choosing to go to top right.
Yeah, it's a slightly bigger pocket. I personally would probably choose the top left. I also have a tendency to put a little bit of right-hand English on the cue ball unintendedly, so I like to favor right-hand English over left, and I would shoot either one with outside English. So,
Sure.
but he hit it great and made it dead heart, and
Drained it. Hey, Alan Blaze joins us. The worst of the Blazes. How are we?
Hey, Alan, how you doing, buddy?
Of all the Blazes, Alan, you're one of them. All right, so it's now it should be 2-0 for Natural Born Killers in this race to 6 in this team alternate race. And they're gonna Team G-Force gonna look to Jason Fonseca to try to bring them back. Oh, I'm sorry, I have that wrong, don't I? No, I have that right.
Jason and Eric, right?
For some reason, I didn't think. Yeah, that's right. So Jason's on Natural Born Killers. I had that wrong. I knew I had that wrong.
Hard to keep track of. What is it? Six.
Yeah, the
people.
6 rotation. That's when it gets a little bit crazy. All right, so we just got some word from Captain Gene Hunt that our order on our paperwork was wrong. So it's going to be Jay Fonseca playing Tony Blaze in this rack here. Oh wait, I'm sorry, we got it all wrong. It's Eric Sikowski, and I see what Gene was telling us. It's the next round, the next rack will be Tony Blaze. Got it. Okay, so Eric Sikowski versus Jay Fonseca. Jay's gonna get ball in hand here. Things are pretty well spread, but he's gonna elect to start with a combo. No, okay, he thought better of it.
Yeah, the problem with that combo is the one tends to go to the right long rail.
Yep.
If it was dead straight where the 1 stays where the 7 is, I wouldn't hate it. But
now I've been playing against Jason Fonseca for probably 8-9 years or so. Real good 9-ball player. I don't want to call him a 9-ball specialist because he can play all the other games too, but a really good 9-ball player. I expect him to get out here.
yeah, the outlay's good. It looks like he's got a natural angle to drift down for the 5 in the side. The 7's a duck. The 8 kind of leads you nicely to the 9 off the top rail. So, yeah, you just pocket the 7, you come off the rail, you come up. You want to stay on like this side of the 8 so that when you pocket it, you have a nice line to come this way for the 9.
Right.
So this is not an ideal line. I mean, it's okay. He can probably use a little low right and just draw back.
Yeah.
But you can the draw can really take off on you
on the new cloth.
On the new cloth. Yeah, it got me a couple times the other night. But he fell in line pretty good here. And just like that.
All right, looks like
3-0 lead for Natural Born Killers.
So now G-Force is going to call upon Tony Blaze to stop the bleeding. Rogers Hill joins us. How are you doing, Rogers? So Rogers is the captain of the first team to enter the finals, Kings of the Hill, and they're waiting on the winner of this match. Joined by Jay Biga and Joe Usello. How are we doing, fellas? All right, it's a big moment for Tony. So I'll say the same thing I just said about Jay Fonseca, about Tony Blaze. He loves 9-ball, right? And that's not to say he can't play 8-ball, but he loves 9-ball. And let's see if he can snap off a break and run here, get his team right back into it. Now, he's on my Masters team, so I'm a little bit, biased, but I've known him for a few years. You've known him for even longer, right? So,
oh, yeah.
Me and Tony, high school.
We go way back, 20 years, maybe more. Wow. Yeah, probably a little 22-ish, something like that, 22 years.
Ray Niederwerfer for joining us, also from Kings of the Hill. How we doing, Ray? Ray's wishing the best to all the shooters today.
I just read like an article, something with Nita Warfare. I don't know what it was.
It's probably
it wasn't the street.
Police blotter. Is that what?
Yeah, yeah. DUI checkpoint. Man hits all-time high score on the breathalyzer. No, I'm just kidding. But it was something. It was. I'm sure it was totally unrelated. But I saw it and I was like, oh,
there's another Nita Warfare.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony pockets a ball, but the look at the one isn't all that great. I'm guessing he's going to play safe here. Knowing Tony, though, he likes to go for shots. He's aggressive.
The problem is, even if you were to cross-side bank the one, it's not...
What's the reward?
I mean, you could get a shot on the two, but I'd like to thin the one and come down by, like, the 6-9, like that.
Yeah, he hit that well.
Yep.
Nice save by Tony. Boy, it's rolling. It's rolling.
Yeah, might have leaked, might have given an edge. I think it's probably going to be this with a bit of left coming behind. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he gave up the edge.
Heath Desso joining us, also a member of Kings of the Hill. How we doing, Heath?
What's up, Heath? Internet sensation in the house.
Right. Yep, 5 got to a rail.
So I'm curious to see how Dave's going to shoot with being under a shot clock. He's a little on the slow side.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that I noted from last year's Cooper Cup is I think he shoots better with the shot clock.
Really?
I think, you know, if Dave has one Achilles heel, it's that he can overthink things sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so the going quick. Yeah.
Going quick, he sticks with his, 90% gut feel, and I think he shoots better.
I'll tell you, we all have been in matches where we might be playing good or bad, whatever, but we're dogging it, right?
Right.
And when that starts happening to me, I just, like you said, speed it up and take your mental out of it because you don't have time to think about dogging it, because you're just getting up and firing.
Just go be yourself, play pool.
And for the majority of my life, I would have considered myself a rhythm player.
Yeah.
So it's natural for me to be able to just drop my head and go ball to ball and, I've been trying to refine and go to and be more slow and methodical and mechanical type of guy, but I don't know. I feel like when I play my best, I'm just locked in and and just running out like water quick, But a lot of that's confidence because you're hitting the ball good, you're hitting your spots. Why think about it? Like you've played this game long enough.
Yeah, you're feeling comfortable. All right, and it looks like Matt Carlson has also joined us, and so that means that we have all the members of Kings of the Hill watching this match, chomping at the bit, I think, to try to figure out who they're going to be playing in the finals. We got a few of my teammates as well. So I see Ronnie's in there, clicking like. I saw Kenny Hoke was in there, the Incredible Hoke, and he was talking about the dogs at Niederwerfer Park, something like that. So maybe that's where you saw the name. There might be a Niederwerfer dog park, or maybe Ray Niederwerfer is the dog. I'm not sure. All right, so Tony, tough shot, tough look at the spore. He's going to go to the top right corner. And they need this point bad, does G-Force. Great shot. All right, so Tony's looking comfortable in this early. And I'll tell you what, folks, for folks that haven't been in this match, this rotation point is unnerving. You're getting up cold. Your rack is super important. And you're expected to be in stroke. And it's just hard to do that. You can't get into rhythm. All right, looks like Tony's pretty good. He's just got to snap this back for the 8. Tony the Tiger, looking like he's going to get out of this rack.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go 1 rail with follow or 3 with high left.
I like going 1 rail, but it's hard to tell if he's got a lot of angle here.
Yeah, with that angle, I like 1 rail. And Tony the Tiger stops the bleeding. 3-1. Much needed.
Much needed point. Much needed point. So now for G-Force, they're going to have, this will be Ben Parker coming up, I believe. Right, and that's what we had wrong in our paperwork. So Ben Parker is going to be coming up against Mario Calwet. And both good shooters. Ben always likes to joke that he's a Massachusetts 6, which I think is just a different way of saying the word sandbagger. But
You telling me people sandbag?
Nah,
Come
not in the
on.
APA. Come
Come
on.
on.
It's all on the up and up. But in any event, two real good shooters. I like Mario's game too. I've seen him play a lot on the. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I've seen him play some on the nines. Played at Sean Dixon's house on stream. I've seen him, play some of those other matches. I think at Yale, and yeah, good shooter. This one should be a fun one. Ben Parker did well in the CT Valley, not this past year, but the year prior, where he made it to the second day.
Yeah, Ben's been picking up his game. Every time I see him or play him, he's hitting the ball good. So somebody's listening in the chat. We just got another sign up for the tournament.
Well, that's what we're talking about. I mean, listen, everybody at home, I'm going to be at the Make a Score Tour. So it's free money. It's dead money. I mean, just come on over.
And I'll tell you guys, if you're a Calcutta guy, there's every big spender in the Calcutta going, except for one, and he thinks he's going. He just isn't sure yet if he has a commitment or not. So even if he doesn't go, should be a great Calcutta.
Right. Might even be more money there than there is in the main tour, right?
Typically...
How's that split normally?
Typically, it's almost the same.
Okay.
Or just a hair less in the Calcutta. It's usually like a little over 7,000 paid out tournament money, and then it's more like, I mean, depending on the format and everything, some Calcuttas do better than other. About 6,500 in the Calcutta, 6,000. So it's nice. I can almost make each payout for a tournament in Calcutta identical, except for it drops like 100 a spot or something.
Right.
So.
And that's the nice thing for the folks at home. Lance, I will say you do a real nice job of making sure that people are getting paid. You know what I mean? It's a nice payout. If you're going there and if you're spending a day, and it's a one-day tournament. So if you're spending the day there at Yale and you make it into the money, it's gonna be worth your while.
Yeah, it's tough because, like I was saying earlier, I think the entry fee of 120 is kind of hurting the sign up a little bit here. So I want to be different than what everybody else does, and it goes with the name, Make a Score Tour.
Sure.
So naturally, to pay out money, bigger money, you have to charge a higher entry fee. So I was really hoping, basically what I was going to do is, as long as they keep filling and there's a wait list, like a lot of the time they'll fill with like a 20+ person wait list. I was considering keep jacking up the entry fee $10 at a time
until that stops.
Sure. Just because I want, there's so many guys that do $40 to $60 entry fee tournaments. I don't want to just do what everybody else is doing, But I also want to do what's best for the community and the masses. So it's not what I want, it's what's best for you guys, so. But that's where I also like that I have the luxury of different strokes for different folks. I could do a 120 bar box, I could do a 60 on a 9-footer, I could do a split bracket, anywhere from 50 as the lowest guy to 300 for Lucas.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm constantly tinkering with formats. Anything that I don't seem to get a good reception on, I just terminate it. It's that simple. If it doesn't do great and people don't seem to love it, then axe it and move on,
So that right there is an example of, I think, the Cooper Cup nerves. So Ben hits a super nice shot on the 4-ball, and then what looked to be a duck on the 5, and he just overcut it. And sorry.
Tyler Hollowell, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate you.
Now, he didn't end up super bad. I think Mario's probably going to play safe off this, try to get behind the 6-9 wall. And did he get there? It's hard to tell on my screen.
Yeah, I think he gave up probably enough to cut it in the top left corner, maybe even the side. But it does look like the 6 goes to the bottom right corner, too. So if I was Ben, it'd be great to be able to just roll it in the side because it looks like you still have shape on the 6. But if not, you could go all the way up in the corner, but you have to go back and forth. So he's going for the side, and it was tough, and it hit the point. Now,
So you think that 6 goes, huh? Yeah, it must.
I think it does.
With the way that Ben hit that, it must.
Yeah, true. Well, there wasn't a great safe there either, so he might have just, even if the 6 didn't go, he might have planned to just pocket the 5 and a cross bank, one pocket on the 6, or some form of safe, a stop shot safe, kick it up 2 rails or something.
Sure. Let's see what Mario does here. Okay, so they must like the 6. Nice shot. Good speed too.
Yeah, he got on the bad side of the 7, but he's got plenty of options because anytime you have a ball like the 8 ball, basically center table, you just have a world of options,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah, on these I kind of like the 3 rail around.
Yeah, I do too. I like cutting the 7 in, and this is probably going to go more on the deeper side,
Sure.
but you put some right on it. And I would probably play it more in like this type of line right here. He could even continue going for the 8 in the side. Yeah,
Wow,
see
he
how
came
deep
in
that cue
real
ball
deep,
went?
huh?
Yeah. But he still has a shot. My preference would be the top left, but
I think he's got to go right.
yeah, if the 9 is impeding top left, which I don't think it is, because remember, when you shoot these, it's comfortable to put right-hand English on it, so you could hit the 8 on the fuller side and use the right-hand English to throw it to the left.
Sure.
If not, then yeah, you always do have this as an option, and
he looks like he's going right.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you're right. Now there's a scratch on the side.
Great shot. Oh dear.
Oh, he's going to come out almost perfect.
Look at that
Yeah,
shot.
that was a great shot, and he's going to have a nice reward for the 9 in the side. And that's going to put Natural Born Killers on the hill. Or no, I'm sorry. The opening match is a race to 6. It's the only match that's a race to 6. Every match after that is a race to 5. And the reason that this one is a race to 6 is because it's a 5-man team that plays with a 6th as an alternate that can be subbed in anytime they want at the beginning of a set, not during a set. But they do include the alternate in the team, in this first team match.
And I like that because, you know, we're also including the alternate in the payment, right? So you got to put up 150. You want to have your skin in the game, you know what I mean? So we're going to have Bob Lakis breaking for Team G-Force. He's going to be going up against Joe Kearns, Calcutta Joe.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so for the folks at home, I used to call him Bob Lakis for the longest time. Somebody told me to start calling him Lakis. Can somebody who really knows him super well give me the honest? Give me the. Is it
a soft A or a
right,
hard A?
Right.
I'm not a betting man, but I kind of think it's a soft A.
Yeah, it feels like it should be Lakis, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Somebody corrected me about a month ago.
Yeah, I've been wrong before. It was like 92 or something, but
right.
Know,
At one time you were wrong.
It happens every once in a while.
That's it, you know. And then you ask the Pope for forgiveness, and it's okay.
Yeah. I go to confession.
That's right. All right, so it looks like he pocketed a ball.
And it looks like he's got a nice shot on the 1 in the side that carries position on the 2. And as long as he doesn't overroll the 2, which he shouldn't because he's so close to the 1, he'll have a good look at the 3. This is a break and run type of rack.
Right.
If you can navigate these first 3 balls and get good on the 4. If you get good on the 4, you should get out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything's it's a little bit tight. Oh, he just went safe. I thought he had to look at the side, but
yeah,
maybe he had angle going into the 9-4 pile. I mean,
yeah.
So
yeah, if he had a natural angle bringing him even over here where you got to back up the 2 and now your cue ball's going this way and you're losing it for the 3, then yeah, just play safe. Now he would have loved to stuck him by the 6, but excuse me, chap, but he overran it and he didn't give up anything too sweet though.
See, so Sarah Archer, thank you. It's Lakis.
Lakis.
So the person that corrected me a month ago. Okay, I'm glad I said it the right way the first time. And
good thing I'm not a betting man.
Well, now you've been wrong twice since '92.
Yeah.
It's been a rough century for you.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, at least I get it out of the way, and I got another 32 years before.
Or 76, however you look at it.
Yeah. All right, so Bob Lakis with a failed kick there, and Joe has a pretty good layout here. Every ball has a hole. 1, 2, 3 is pretty routine to start, but similar to before. Yeah, once you get good on the 4, if you get straight in on the 4 in any pocket it goes, you're in business.
The thing I like about the layout now for Joe is that the 1, 2, and 3 are less congested. Oh boy, I said that, and he gets right up on the 9.
Yeah, he's okay. You can still bridge it. Yeah, he's in business now. This is going to be the key. In my opinion, I think he'd like to pocket the 3 with some low left, come back, use the rail, and just come to like here.
Right.
For a nice little 4 in the corner next.
Yeah, be confident that you can make the longer shot.
I mean, there's really nowhere else to go. You could use high right to play the 4 on the bottom left, but it's just too much work. Now, he got stuck on the rail, which makes this much, much more difficult. But Joe is a very good player, and he can step up and make this, but even the position gets trickier now because it appears that if he does pocket the 4, his cue ball's coming out kind of flat, like this way. He'd like it to come more this way because it's more natural to come back up for the 5.
Right.
He might have to really like pocket the 4 and stroke through it, maybe even with some right to try to bring it back up.
I'll tell you, for me, I'm just focusing on pocketing the 4 because the 5 can be made in the corner.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Joe just decided. I'm going to shoot this in the corner. It goes well by the 8.
Now, the only problem here is he got on the wrong side of the 5.
Right.
He would have liked to have been on this side.
Yeah.
But if he can make this with some low, maybe low left, he still has the 6. Oh, he had that beautiful
nice shot.
Joe, Calcutta Joe in the house.
Replay action? Can we get it in
I was
there?
going to, but he's so quick. I know
Yeah.
he's going to get up.
Yeah.
And shoot. Oh, see, I would have got it off.
That's all right. We have it on video for memory.
Right.
Nice shot by Joe.
Yeah, that was great. Now that was not so great.
Does he get away with it?
I mean, he didn't leave up. He didn't leave a hanger, and the real issue with this is even if you're to make it here, the position on the 8 is going to be tough. I like. He could shoot it with some like stun and try to do one of these, but kind of tough.
I actually like the low left because
Yeah.
you're going to go one rail and back over. Okay, you take the long corner. So what?
I like the low left because I feel like I'm going to pocket the ball every single time. If I go the other, ooh, look at this, a
Did he
bang.
bank it?
But he stuck himself.
Ooh,
I wonder
that's the reward for a great bank, huh? Good God.
Yeah, I might have caught this one a little late. Oh, just in time.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit more draw and he would have been perfect.
Tough shot. Tough shot. Now, what 2 rail kick is what I like to do. Some people like the 3 rail, but 2 rail is just easier for me to measure.
Eric Johnson in the chat. What's up, brother?
Hey, Eric, how are we doing?
Not too long. I think we'll see him out here in one of these.
Honestly, yeah, and he was a very viable alternate choice this year as well, too. And I know that a lot of captains, myself included, were tossing his name around. So
yeah, he's definitely been, in my opinion, one of the fastest improvers over the past year. Him and I'd say Eric Sikowski are the 2 that are making the biggest moves in the past year.
Oh, just missed the 2 railer.
And Bob Hoffman too. He went from like 450 to I think he's around 550 right now.
Right.
Like he's really.
So Rogers Hill, sideline reporter, is saying he thinks that the shot that Bob Lakis hit on the 6 ball was a safe.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, but I wasn't.
Man, he hit it so pure.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I thought it was a bank was the speed was pretty firm. You know what I mean?
I thought it could have been a potential safe that he just mishit, but Joe looking to.
Yeah, this is going to be a real big hill.
Reach the hill here.
Real big hill to climb for G-Force.
And Joe gets it done. And Natural Born Killers with a 5-1 lead. They are on the hill for the opening point of the semifinals, number 2 of the 2024 Cooper Cup.
So now if G-Force is going to stay alive in this team point, they're going to have to rely on their captain, Gene Hunt. Unfortunately for Gene, I don't know if he's the one breaking. Do you know if it's going to be Kevin Bourne breaking? Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it will be Gene break. And that's what I thought. So you go alternate break all the way through your rotation, but when you return back, the other captain gets to break. So it turns out that Team G-Force breaks twice in a row. It's just one of these little oddities of the format. All right, so it's in Gene's hands to keep his team alive here. For the team point, oh boy. Makes a few on the break, but scratches as well. Ball in hand, 7 balls on the table. Kevin Bourne coming up. Not a good scenario for Team G-Force. Now, Kevin did mention to me that he's not feeling his A-plus game right now after having come back from vacation. You know, I think maybe the sun and the fun was a little too much, you know, for him to be in stroke. But if I know Kevin the way I think I do, he's a big competitor. He'll find the stroke pretty soon today.
Yeah, not this year, but 2 years ago, I think Kev was the most improved player in here.
Right.
And I knew it too. Like him and Alex Bosch were the first two when I started coming in here. I saw that I could see how serious they took the game. Neither one drinks. They're here to play pool. They're here to get better. They ask intelligent questions. They practice their weaknesses. They do things the right way, you know?
Right.
And that's what I love about pool. There's no shortcuts. The people that put in the time and the work get the rewards. It's that simple.
Right.
In so many things in life, there's shortcuts, you know, guys that can just help you or family or this and that. In pool, there's no shortcuts.
Right.
Everything you get, you have to earn it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if your father was a world champion. That might help a little bit, don't get me wrong. But he ain't out there pocketing the balls. You know?
He's not, but there is something to be said about the pre-YouTube days that you got a little more info than the other people
that's
right?
That's what I tell people.
You know?
But the counter of that is when he passed, I was a D player.
Really?
Yeah. When he passed, he'd went to a couple D tournaments with me, and the best I did was second place. And then he was in the hospital, and I won 3 D tournaments in a row, and I bring him the trophy, and then he passed. So I was a D player is probably what, like a 450 Fargo,
something around that.
It's somewhere real low fours. So unfortunately, the knowledge that I would kill to get now,
he's not here.
And even if he had told it to me back in the day, it meant nothing to me. It'd be like a world champion chess player telling me the moves, and I'm just learning.
You don't know the openings.
Yeah, right. I'd be like, "What's a rook? What do you mean D4? I don't know what you do."
Well, I'll tell you what. Gene Hunt keeps his team alive with a great long rail bank shot, and then finds a nice out there. Team G4 still in it. You're gonna have to push them down. And so now we're going to be having the number 1 draft picks for each team coming up. It's going to be Pete Brown with the break, I believe, going up against Brandon Ryan.
I'll tell you, I don't know what it is about team matches, but I feel like the majority of them I see, a team jumps out like 3-0, 4-0, and then it's always somehow a sweat fest by the end.
Right.
The year that I played Lisciotti Cup, I think Eric Tang was the captain. We were down... I think back then the alternate did not play yet, so it was a race to 5, and we're down 4-0, and we come back to win. Right. Last week, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like a 3-0, and then
we were up 2-0. Jordan Palacio has an 8-ball shot, which I know he's killing himself over, and I hope he doesn't. But you know, he 2-stroked an 8-ball that he would make 99% of the time. He was going to be up 4-1 on Rob Slota,
right?
Which was big for him.
Oh wait.
And then it ended up being 3-2.
You're talking about the singles. You're talking about the singles.
That was a singles.
I was talking about the team.
Oh, the team, right? Yeah. So the team rotation, we were down 3-1.
Yeah, right.
And then we came back and won at 6-4.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's something about this opening team match. It just seems like somebody always jumps up and gets comfy. And they still might win, but it's like hill or something, you know.
And I'll tell you what, the thing that I think swung it for us was that our alternate, Ronnie Emanuelson, won his rack.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was 3-3.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the momentum swung.
I look at these events kind of like baseball lineups, where if you get production from your back end, it's really tough
big
for you guys to lose, you know?
Now, here's a big question. Your team's on the hill and the team point here. If you're Pete, you going for this 1-9?
Who's he playing?
If he picks this 1-9
Who's
up,
his opponent,
they win.
though, right now?
Brandon Ryan.
Brandon, yeah, I'm going for it. No disrespect to Brandon Ryan, but I'm going for it because it lays pretty good, and it'd be great to pick up a point and get some momentum going. And
you lock it up. You lock up the team
Yeah,
rotation.
and I hit it firm, I'll tell you, because I don't want to leave anything lingering down there for Brandon. Yeah, I would hit it that same speed. Now you got some separation. The 9's not hanging. Yep, nothing wrong with that.
It was worth
tough,
the risk.
and it was a tough shot.
For sure.
But to me, it was kind of a free roll.
Yep, worth the risk.
And Brandon's more than capable of banking this one in the side and running out, but
if I'm Brandon, I'm playing a safe here. I
go 3 rails behind the 4. The right of the
Oh, your illustrator's gone.
The right of the 1, you come back and take a U-turn and right behind the 4. So he went with the bank, which had looked nice two-way properties, trying to use the 3 as a blocker. I think he might have given up the edge of the 1 at worst. If he did, not too many great safes here. You could drive the 1 to the rail and try to thin it with the cue ball and come back here, or a wider line like this. Even if you were to land here and the 1 lands here and you give up a window, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's hard to hit that 1 that thin, though. Like, you don't want the cue ball going into the 9 unless you call the 9 for a carom.
Well,
yeah, he hit it too fat. It's going to give up a look.
Yeah, it's a look, and Brandon's probably going to have to go a little bit back and forth. I think the cue ball's going to have to find its way in between the 6-8 on the left-hand side.
Yeah, definitely some traffic he's going to have to worry about there. He can pick trying to split them and come out, which is probably your most natural pattern. I would consider using a little bit of left and coming short of the 8 and back out. But I don't know if it lays good enough. And left-hand English, inside English doesn't catch very well on new cloth.
He found the gap nice.
Yeah, he hit that very well.
Yeah, found the gap nice. At this point, I think, well, I don't know if he's going to be playing for that 3 in the corner. It does go by the 4, but he might just want to play it in the side pocket if he wants to roll forward. Okay, is he queuing low? He's queuing low, so he wants that 3 corner, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think with some low left, he could probably just pull the cue ball back in this general area, which is very good for the 3.
If I'm playing the 3 corner, I probably wanna hit off the right-hand side rail and come back out again.
Oh yeah, if he comfortably has enough angle to come out like that, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so he decided side pocket.
The side, yeah. Which, if I'm picking the side, I want to favor this side.
The
of
long
the 3,
side, yeah.
like over here, because if you run too long, you have the corner. This angle leads you towards the 4, the corner. He'd probably go into the 4, which would be smart. Yeah, just like, oh boy.
Oh, even with the new cloth, it's still a diamond though, you know.
Yeah, the new cloth doesn't really do much for you in the sides because
yeah.
the points are unique, like unlike any other pocket or corner, I should say.
So now it's all there for Pete. I don't know if the 6 goes by the 8. If it does, it should be tic-tac-toe. If it doesn't, he might have some work 5 to the 6.
Miss Blaze in the chat, how you doing today?
Sir Lancelot. Now look at that. You got like 20 nicknames.
Yeah.
The Gecko. You got all kinds of stuff.
Son of Kong.
Son of Kong. You know, Mr. Smooth.
Yeah, Mrs. Blaze, I go back obviously with Tony. We were saying like 22 plus years, and she's always been fantastic to me. I used to like live at her house and spent a lot of time there, you know.
Yeah.
And she was always fantastic.
She's great. She was. I remember when we were out in Vegas with our Masters team, and she was a big supporter of us, and was really nice to have
very nice.
her on stream and you know, rooting us on.
Well, Pete looks, if he could go with a stop shot here.
The 6 must go by then,
Yeah,
right?
I believe the 6 does pass the 8. If it doesn't, he could try to use some left and go in between the 6-8 for the 6 in the top left.
Good
or
shot.
the side.
Good shot.
Looks like the side is the move from here. But we've seen these side pockets get at least 2 players already. But this looks like it lays pretty comfortable because you don't have to use any speed. You can just roll it in.
Right.
I don't like using low here because you have to hit the 6 firmer, which makes you a higher chance of missing it. Okay, he just soft low. That's fine.
So just rolling up on it, and he should be okay.
You pick the short side or the pro side, or what are you doing?
With where he's at now, I'm probably just rolling a little bit further. I don't mind the angle.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stunning.
I
huh?
think you can
he's
stun
stunning.
this one easy on the new cloth. Yeah. See how nice it just jumps out?
Yeah, but I feel like you risk the pot.
Yeah, I don't know though, because with the new cloth, like
it's going in no matter what.
Shoves right in there. I think that was the right move, but the angles can be so deceiving.
Yes. And just like that, team Natural Born Killers takes the team point.
All right, guys, we're going to step away. We're going to have a Scotch doubles match coming up next. 9-ball for Natural Born Killers. We're going to have Jason Fonseca and Kevin Bourne against Gene Hunt and Anthony Blaze for G-Force. And we'll be back with about a 10-minute intermission. See you soon.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but it was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself.
I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved.
We have money, we have everything, we have fame. But the most important thing is the family. Keep your family healthy, good, and take care of your family, because this is the most important thing in the world.
Failing to prepare was preparing to fail. The night before a game, I ate the same food. I went to bed at the same time. I got up, I ate the same breakfast. Some people call it superstition, but it's a routine.
I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope.
Because you might be actually not feeling great physically or mentally, you're drained, but the confidence somehow gets you through. And when you don't have confidence, that's then when you have to sort of trust all the hard work you've done, and you have to keep on working hard so success comes back.
I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist.
Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward that goal, and don't let anything or anyone stop you in the process, no matter what it is.
I didn't really care about the standings or, the perception of my style or whatever, as long as I could keep learning these new tricks. And so as I was successful in competition and winning a lot of the events, my job was just keep getting better.
All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
People perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B.
We were down 1-0. If you walked into our locker room at halftime, you thought we were up 3-0.
Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough.
You just never give up, because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire and who you can influence.
I'm not going to go out and say I'm the greatest this or that. I was a kid with a dream. That's it.
You have to fail in order to climb that ladder.
You are fighting the greatest fight of all times.
And I fought because I knew it was not doomed to be a losing fight. It couldn't be a losing fight.
As long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing things you love to do, then you can go out there and be the best at it. And that's, that should give you a lot of enjoyment, fulfillment in your life.
Always keep an open mind that there's something out there for each and every one of you. And it's up to you to go out there and find your niche.
You learn just to stick with it. I mean, there's lots of days where you don't really feel like doing it, or you don't feel like grinding it out, and you got to do it. Those are the highs and lows of being an athlete, and if you want to feel those highs, you got to go through those lows every now and then.
This time when you run and you just want to stop, you just want to give up, like, to hell with this, I just want to go home. This day when you get up and you know what, you have a training today, you know it's going to be intense, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to go today, but you got to go.
When you play sports and you're committed to something, the commitment, the responsibility of showing up to practice on time, to being there for your teammates, to listening to your coaches, it's a responsibility that you have when you're playing with a group, that you have to hold your end of the bargain.
When you have to make a putt, you make a putt. You have to hit the shot, you hit the shot.
you just sort of like drop into another zone and you block out everything.
Sometimes the will can outdo the skill. And sometimes a fella's will is stronger than the man who's actually better physically, and the determination and weakens the other man just to see him so determined.
I still feel I have a lot to prove, not just as a player, but as a person, as a father. When I get to a point where I feel I can improve as a player, I walk away from the game.
I am the greatest. Hard f***ing work. You put it in, you believe in it, you will succeed.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you become better at your craft.
Some of the best athletes, the greatest athletes in the world, do things when they're uncomfortable.
You just have to stay calm because it's not finished until the last point, no matter how close you get. I've been working so hard all my life to be here, and I was determined to get this.
You gotta start from way down the bottom. You gotta let it grow up with you. And if you're successful and you tried hard enough, you're bound to come out on top, just like these boys have come to the top now.
Mentally, we have a vision, we have a finish that we have to attain, and sometimes you have to do it when you're old and you're tired, and I think it's the test of your will to succeed.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but it was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself.
I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved.
We have money, we have everything, we have fame. But the most important thing is the family. Keep your family healthy, good, and take care of your family, because this is the most important thing in the world.
Failing to prepare was preparing to fail. The night before a game, I ate the same food. I went to bed at the same time. I got up, I ate the same breakfast. Some people call it superstition, but it's a routine.
I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope.
Because you might be actually not feeling great physically or mentally, you're drained, but the confidence somehow gets you through. And when you don't have confidence, that's then when you have to sort of trust all the hard work you've done, and you have to keep on working hard so success comes back.
I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist.
Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward that goal, and don't let anything or anyone stop you in the process, no matter what it is.
I didn't really care about the standings or, the perception of my style or whatever, as long as I could keep learning these new tricks. And so as I was successful in competition and winning a lot of the events, my job was just to keep getting better.
All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
People perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B.
We were down 1-0, and if you walked into our locker room at halftime, you thought we were up 3-0.
Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough.
You just never give up because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire and who you can influence.
I'm not going to go out and say I'm the greatest this or that. I was a kid with a dream. That's it.
You have to fail in order to climb that ladder.
You are fighting the greatest fight of all times.
And I fought because I knew it was not doomed to be a losing fight. It couldn't be a losing fight.
You know, as long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing things you love to do, then you can go out there and be the best at it. And that's, you know, that should give you a lot of enjoyment, fulfillment in your life.
Always keep an open mind that there's something out there for each and every one of you. And it's up to you to go out there and find your niche.
You learn just to stick with it. I mean, there's lots of days where you don't really feel like doing it, or you don't feel like grinding it out, and you got to do it. You know, those are the highs and lows of being an athlete, and if you want to feel those highs, you got to go through those lows every now and then.
This time when you run and you just want to stop, you just want to give up, like, to hell with this, I just want to go home. This day when you get up and you know what, you have a training today, you know it's going to be intense, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to go today, but you got to go.
When you play sports and you're committed to something, the commitment, the responsibility of showing up to practice on time, to being there for your teammates, to listening to your coaches, it's a responsibility that you have when you're playing with a group, that you have to hold your end of the bargain.
When you have to make a putt, you make a putt. You have to hit the shot, you hit the shot. You just sort of like drop into another zone, and you block out everything.
Sometimes the will can outdo the skill. And sometimes a fella's will is stronger than the man who's actually better physically, and the determination.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Looks like Kevin Bourne has won the lag, and we're going to be having our first doubles match now. This is going to be doubles 9-ball, and it's going to be Kevin Bourne and Jason Fonseca versus Gene Hunt and Tony Blaze. This should be a real good one. It's going to be one that G-Force is going to want to get back onto the scoreboard here, try to even things up. Who do you like in this, Lance? Do you think there's a favorite in this one?
Well, I think Kevin and Gene, I think, are very similar and pretty much cancel each other out.
Right.
And Jason and Anthony, I would say about the same. I asked somebody last night who they thought had the edge between Anthony and Jason, and somebody else overheard me, and both people picked the opposite sides.
Did they?
And I didn't have a clear-cut decision myself. Right. So I feel like both highs are equal, both lows are equal. So if you want to say it like that, you know, I think it's pretty pick'em.
Yeah, me too. I think the key for Gene's side, you know, knowing Tony the way that I do, is that if I'm Gene, I'm trying to keep Tony out into space. You know, he's a free stroking player. He loves 9-ball, but I think Tony excels when he's out and free in the space. You know, even if it's a longer shot, a cut shot, don't matter. He's a good pocketer of the ball. All right, so it looks like they've pocketed a ball. Fonseca gets them started. And we're going to see if Kevin and Jay can go back and forth and run this thing out. Teresa Blaze, thank you for the kind comments for both Lance and I. He's doing a good job commentating, and I'm doing a good job not messing it up, I think. So that's the good news. All right, and these guys look pretty comfortable. Yeah, a little bit of a tester here.
I'd say something to note is out of all 4 players, I would say that Gene Hunt probably plays the least amount on these exact 7-foot diamonds.
Right.
The other 3 players are in-house in here, you know, 2, 3, 4 times a week. Gene typically only shows up for his list match. He does pop in randomly every once in a while, but not too often.
Right.
But with New Claw, nobody really has the edge because nobody should be really locked in comfy on it, you know?
Right.
And Kev just went to Bermuda, I think it was. For
Some fancy island.
Yeah, Aruba or
Yeah.
Bermuda or something for like a week. So I can't say that he's been in here hitting balls on this table, getting super used to the new cloth. You know,
Right.
so. But yeah, they ran these out. As long as nothing crazy happens here, they ran these out pretty good and great start.
All right, first break and run of the night, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. On the board, Natural Born Killers, 1-0.
All right, so Natural Born Killers trying to flex their muscles and put a little more pressure on Team G-Force. We're going to see if Tony and Gene can come right back, get a break and run of their own. I'd be interested to see who breaks this rack. Is it going to be Tony or is it going to be Gene? So the way that this works for the folks at home is it's alternating break, but it's also alternating with your teammates breaking. So if Tony breaks rack 2, he won't break again until rack 6. Okay, so it does look like Tony's going to be the opening breaker for Team G-Force.
So let's take a look at that purple 4-ball, the right wing ball, which went right to the right wing pocket. And good luck at the 1.
Yeah.
Might be a little tricky getting on the 2 here. Hard to draw back.
Yeah, normally on these shots, I like to put a little of inside English on, left-hand English on it.
Try to go
right
above the 6 and out.
Yeah, or even if you go long, even if you go a little bit long. Okay, he had to nudge the 6 to get there.
All
Wow,
right,
pocket
all
from
right.
both.
Yeah, Gene, one at a time. We're no rush here. It's still early, you know.
We're not that good on the telestrator.
But yeah, he's a little jacked up over the 5, which makes this much harder.
Nice shot
No
by
problem.
Tony.
Oh, he might make
He
it.
might get 2 himself, huh?
Oh, I got a little funny.
Oh boy.
Little funny here. He can't make it in the corner. He just cannot get out of that scratch.
No.
And I don't know if he could back cut this one. Even if you were to try to play safe and thin the 3 this way and try to come underneath the 9, the 3 looks like it hits the point and then lingers in
It
front
just
of the
stays
side,
there.
where if you don't get behind the 9, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, he's got to get this perfectly right. Oh, that's not bad. If he can get behind the 9, that's not bad.
Yeah, it was a worthy attempt.
Yeah.
He did give up a pretty decent look here. Now, Kev might have to use some right-hand English to try to come this
2
way.
rails,
If
yeah.
you were to just center ball it, there might be a scratch coming up in the corner.
Well, he looks like he's putting left, so he's going to just come 1 rail and then up out into the middle.
Yeah, I think it's harder to pocket the ball with the left, but he missed it on the pro side, which we call the high side. Now, if he was to miss it on the bad side here, it does one of these, and now it gives up a good look. So he missed it on the right side.
Roll up on the 8 possibly, or roll up on the 9.
Oh, he's using the 9.
I
And
like
he hit
that.
it great.
Wow, nice shot by Tony
Yeah,
Blaze.
good shot. And that 8-ball really hurts the natural, easy 1-rail kick, too. So he might be able to get in between them with maybe a little bit of right-hand reverse and straighten it up.
Yeah, and I think Jay would prefer to kick than jump. I think he's one of those players that I don't think he's super comfortable jumping. I could be wrong about that, but that's I think the scouting report says.
Look
Oh
at
my
this.
goodness!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
So a little jelly roll there. Let's see if I caught it in time here. Sure did.
How about that kick?
And Kev's going to have a great look at the 5
yeah.
in the top left with the 7 hanging in the side here.
Yeah, and now it's dink dunk.
Yeah, and they're looking to jump out with a smooth 2-0 lead here.
And all of this just because of, remember how much a millimeter matters, that Tony bumped the 3 to the wrong corner of the side pocket, right?
Right.
And that's all it takes here, folks. And just like that, I think.
Yeah, just like that, 2-0 lead for Team Natural Born Killers.
And they get the break here. So they could really, really impose their will here. right. So now we're back. We had a little bit of a spelling error that we took care of.
I never
Good
noticed
catch.
it.
Good
I never noticed it. Now it makes total sense why they
Right.
picked the name.
Right.
I didn't see it until I just recently figured that out. That Natural Born Killers was the Born was spelled as
Right.
Kevin's last name, which makes total sense. I had just never caught it.
So I knew it. I just didn't look at the spelling.
Yeah.
All right. Now it looks like he might pick up a free 1-9 here. Well, this is not free. You're going to have to work for it, but
It lays pretty good though.
lays pretty good.
And Kev shoots combos pretty well.
Just like that. Look at that.
No, so if that cue ball kissed the one, it could have scratched in the
Oh, yeah.
corner. But nice shot there, and 3-0, and they're rolling.
Yeah, amazing what a millimeter difference will do. You know, so what looked to be 1-1 is now 3-0. And yeah, the team of Hunt and Blaze are going to have to really put something nice together here. If they're going to get a break and run, now would be a good time. And that's the thing about Gene Hunt too. I mean, he's been in big venues. He's been in big matches. He's played Turning Stone, and he's, you know, Ocean State and all that. So he's not going to be all that bothered by a 3-0 lead, race to 5. He stays pretty even keel from what I, you know, from my matches against him anyway. All right, Gene to break. All right, 4-ball wing ball goes in, picks up some extra bonus, and a look at the 1. That's big.
Yeah, and a angle to go up table for the 2 as well. Yeah, this has break and run written all over it. It's not very simple, but it's a great opportunity.
Yep. That was the big shot for me, getting around that 6 ball. The 5 goes by the 6 in the top left corner. I think this is looking real good. And Gene got there.
So now this is where you just got to stay in line and execute. He's a little bit on the wrong side of the 5, but he might be able to just draw with a little low left and keep a nice angle for the 6.
He did what I did in the other match. He moved the 7.
And now, is that opponent option or is that a foul?
No, it's a ball in hand if it was in the act of shooting. And I think, oh, I'll tell you what, when I did it last week, I was sick to my stomach. But so the ruling, folks at home, is if you move the ball and you catch yourself, you know, you can ask the team that you can put it back. It's not all ball foul. But if you move that ball in the act of shooting, it's ball in hand.
Yeah, that's how I run the same rules for the Make a Score Tour. Is pre-shot is opponent option, and then anything in the act of shooting, which is from the moment you strike the cue ball to the moment the ball stop rolling, is a foul.
Is a foul.
So it's basically all ball fouls in the act of shooting, and then pre-shot is option.
And that's also the rules in bar box. So
I believe that's also the rules for Mike DeMarco tournaments and
Blue Belt as well.
And what is it? Mike Zuglin's Joss Tour.
Joss Tour. Yeah.
It's really nice when all the tours have the same or very similar rules, so you don't have to learn a bunch of different variations.
Now Kev really loaded up on the draw, and he went about 4 feet too far. Jay is completely capable of making this on the side, but this is no duck.
Oh, hit it great.
Great shot.
Hit that one great, and that's 4-0 lead on the hill, just like that.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Yeah, let's take a look at that again.
Hit that super confident with the speed, and he hit the perfect part of the pocket you aim for, the high side, not the low side.
Sure.
And he hit that perfect. You see a lot of guys get real timid and just slow roll it in.
Right.
And you got to trust the table not rolling off. And you typically, for whatever reason, when you really slow roll, you hit a ball fat. And it hits, which would have been the lower left side of our side
and
pocket.
You sell it out up in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate sort of events for Tony Blaze and Steve Mack.
Oh yeah, they have a backgammon game going on for quite a long time, and I believe Tony's up on him.
I think so.
Yeah, Tony, I hear, is a great backgammon player.
So Steve's getting ducked all over the place. He's getting ducked on backgammon from Tony Blaze. He's getting ducked in straight pool from me. And
you won't play him straight pool?
No, I will, but he's got to give me a little spot. Yeah, he's got a little spot.
What are we talking?
maybe like 125. 125 to, I don't know. You got to give me at least, 30, 40 balls, I'm thinking. He's, what is he, 680 Fargo? What is he?
Yeah, something like that. 680, 685.
He offered me 125, 100. No, I'm thinking about it,
That was my first thought.
I'm thinking about it.
That was my first thought, was 125 to 100. Except I think that's...
You think it'd be fair?
Well, you never know. Somebody might have the best of it, but you got to start somewhere, and then you can always adjust.
Yeah. But I'll never play him in backgammon, that's for sure.
Yeah, I learned backgammon like 20 years ago, and I totally forgot it. So you know backgammon, right?
A little bit. I'm not as good as I'm not.
You know what the cube is?
The cube dice.
Yeah. Do you know how the cube? No, the cube. Not the dice you roll with. There's what's called the cube in backgammon.
Right.
It's basically we're playing a game, and I'm winning, and I said we're playing for $5.
Okay.
And I say, I'm cubing you. That means that I'm saying we have to double the bet, and you either accept the bet and now we're betting 10, or you just cut your losses and say, no, I'll pay you 5 right now.
Wow.
And then if you accept it, right, and now we're betting 10, now you have the cube. So if you take the advantage, you can pull it back, you can cube me and say, now we're going to bet 20 or you're going to pay 10. I want to incorporate that in a pool somehow.
Somehow?
Yeah.
Like you get to the 5 ball and you got to make a decision on the 5.
Yeah, or like it's not even mandatory, but like you have the option.
Right.
Or like you flip for it. Okay, you start with the cube.
Right.
And we bet 20, and you get up 5-3 in a race of 9, and you say I'm going to cube you.
Bad.
Yeah, because now I might get up 7-6 and say, you know what? Now I'm going to cube you. Or 8-6. You know what I mean? It's really interesting.
Now is that the push out? I got so tied up with the cubing that.
How about even? I'm sorry to keep going, but how about even like we play, right? And I say, Dan, what do you want in a race of 9? Like, what would your response be? Like, I'm not saying we're gonna do it, but just
on the 9-footers.
Yeah, if I say we play a race of 9 for 50, what do you want?
9-8, 9-7. So 9-7 probably.
9-7.
I'd try to start 9-7.
And I'd say, how about I give you 9-6, but I get to cube you whenever I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, like only I can cube you, or 9-5, but I have the option to, where I know I'm in a bad game.
Right.
But if I get hot, I can make you double it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many ways you could incorporate it. I think it would be really fun. But anyways, let's get back on track here. So Jason with a 2-rail kick at the 4.
Ooh.
Little long. Foul. And Gene and Tony looking to get on the board here.
Backs against the wall. It's hill 0.
Yeah. Now, fortunate for them, race to 5, no lead is ever safe.
Right.
The problem with coming back from behind here is alternate break.
Right.
That makes a lead a lot stronger and safer. Gene can't run out. They can't break and run they can't run out and break and run 2 on you and get 3 quick games. But
wow, he's starting with a combo. Is that what you? I mean,
no, I would
why
never.
not pocket in the corner?
Yeah, I would never do that.
That's a strange choice from my perspective.
I agree. There's just no need to.
Why add complexity?
Yeah, it doesn't solve any problems. And now this 4 to the 5, it's easy, but like it's a little touchy. If you overdraw the side, you underdraw this.
Exactly. There was no angle there.
Yeah, I think a little mental mistake there, but
yeah, sometimes we overthink our situation, and but still possible to get out of it. Yeah, Gene's not gonna be happy with that result. I know it's not a duck, but I fully expect Kevin's a favorite to make it. Let me put it that way. And he's got that natural 2-rail to come back on the right hand side of the 6, just like you're drawing. Oh, you'd even stop short. I think the cue ball's gonna have a lot of speed.
I think he can just roll this soft and go 2 like that, but he missed the ball.
Yeah. All right, so let's see if Team G-Force can make good on this.
This is where the draw, it looks like he's straight and he has to draw, and this is where this draw, new cloth, can really take off on you.
Right. Slides that little bit, oh boy.
He's all right.
Yeah, it slides that little bit to the left, and then all of a sudden grabs.
we're probably going to see something like this. He could really put a lot of inside on it, but then you risk missing the ball. I think you just settle for a little angle on the 8.
Oh boy, he overrolled it.
Yeah, he sure did.
So if I know Tony the way I think I do, he's just going to back bank this. I'd rather play it safe, but I think Tony wants to stay aggressive.
That's what Gene's saying. He's saying, like, bank it here and have the cue ball come up to, like, one of these, which I really like this shot. You see it all the time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Did he get it good?
He got away with it, but the problem here is I really like Gene to bank this 8, and I really like him to make it.
Yep. Jay Fonseca.
Oh, Fonseca's up. I'm sorry. Regardless of who, I really like the bank here. I think it's going to go, and it carries you a natural position.
Well, and you're up 4-0. You're free stroking, right? I mean, not completely free, but
yeah. If there was a great, I mean, he could just bank it up and try to have the cue ball stay, but somewhere behind the 9, and have the 8 come up here. But you could just end the set and win it here with a high percentage shot.
Jay Fonseca,
great shot, and that shot is the perfect type of shot where the pocket plays big. He hit the rail like around here,
right?
Maybe a little higher up, and it still went in and bobbled. It bobbled and went in. So just like that, 5-0, and Natural Born Killers with a 2-0 lead, and we will be back for our next match, which is Pete Brown against Ben Parker, singles and 8-ball. So see you in 10 minutes.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but it was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself.
I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved.
We have money, we have everything, we have fame. But the most important thing is the family. Keep your family healthy, good, and take care of your family, because this is the most important thing in the world.
Failing to prepare was preparing to fail. The night before a game, I ate the same food. I went to bed at the same time. I got up, I ate the same breakfast. Some people call it superstition, but it's a routine.
I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope.
Because you might be actually not feeling great physically or mentally, you're drained, but the confidence somehow gets you through. And when you don't have confidence, that's then when you have to sort of trust all the hard work you've done, and you have to keep on working hard so success comes back.
I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist.
Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward that goal, and don't let anything or anyone stop you in the process, no matter what it is.
I didn't really care about the standings or, the perception of my style or whatever, as long as I could keep learning these new tricks. And so as I was successful in competition and winning a lot of the events, my job was just to keep getting better.
All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am.
People perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B.
We were down 1-0, and if you walked into our locker room at halftime, you thought we were up 3-0.
Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough.
You just never give up because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire and who you can influence.
I'm not going to go out and say I'm the greatest this or that. I was a kid with a dream. That's it.
You have to fail in order to climb that ladder.
You are fighting the greatest fight of all times.
And I fought because I knew it was not doomed to be a losing fight. It couldn't be a losing fight.
You know, as long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing things you love to do, then you can go out there and be the best at it. And that's, you know, that should give you a lot of enjoyment, fulfillment in your life.
Always keep an open mind that there's something out there for each and every one of you. And it's up to you to go out there and find your niche.
You learn just to stick with it. I mean, there's lots of days where you don't really feel like doing it, or you don't feel like grinding it out, and you got to do it. You know, those are the highs and lows of being an athlete, and if you want to feel those highs, you got to go through those lows every now and then.
This time when you run and you just want to stop, you just want to give up, like, to hell with this, I just want to go home. This day when you get up and you know what, you have a training today, you know it's going to be intense, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to go today, but you got to go.
When you play sports and you're committed to something, the commitment, the responsibility of showing up to practice on time, to being there for your teammates, to listening to your coaches, it's a responsibility that you have when you're playing with a group, that you have to hold your end of the bargain.
When you have to make a putt, you make a putt. You have to hit the shot, you hit the shot. You just sort of like drop into another zone and you block out everything.
Sometimes the will can outdo the skill. And sometimes a fella's will is stronger than the man who's actually better physically, and the determination weakens the other man just to see him so determined.
I still feel I have a lot to prove, not just as a player, but as a person, as a father. When I get to a point where I feel I can improve as a player, I walk away from the game.
I am the greatest. Hard f***ing work. You put it in, you believe in it, you will succeed.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you become better at your craft.
Some of the best athletes, the greatest athletes in the world, do things when they're uncomfortable.
You just have to stay calm because it's not finished to the last point, no matter how close you get. I've been working so hard all my life to be here, and I was determined to get this.
You gotta start from way down the bottom. You gotta let it grow up with you. And if you're successful and you tried hard enough, you're bound to come out on top, just like these boys have come to the top now.
Mentally, we have a vision, we have a finish that we have to attain, and sometimes you have to do it when you're old and you're tired, and I think it's the test of your will to succeed.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but it was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself.
I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved.
We have money, we have everything, we have fame. But the most important thing is the family. Keep your family healthy, good, and take care of your family, because this is the most important thing in the world.
Failing to prepare.
Guys, here we go for match number 3. Pete Brown versus Ben Parker, 8-ball. Race to 5.
And here's the thing, if I'm Ben, I'm thinking about the fact that, the team last week that was up 2-0 was the one that lost 7-2, right?
Correct.
And I happen to know that firsthand. So, and the other thing about it is that, Ben Parker's done really well in the CT Valley tournaments over the last couple of years, which are 8-ball on the winner's side. So he's no stranger to 8-ball. And this should be a good one.
Race to 5, we did just see 5-0. 5-0. 5-0.
Yeah.
It happens, but
it does, yeah.
More often than not, it's 5-3, 5-4, which, even 5-3 was 4-3 ready to go hill. You know what I mean? So hard to feel comfortable ever in a race to 5.
Right. All right, so Pete's starting off with the break here. He's won the lag.
So are we going to see second ball or head ball?
Head ball, but from that second diamond. He's not a second ball breaker, but it looks like he is lining up that way, isn't he?
If he's head ball breaking, you want to watch the 4 in that side. This ball, I don't know, might not cooperate, but we'll find out.
No, that was second ball for sure.
Ball, yeah. Oh, because the 8 counts or no?
No, it's not live. He's going to have to spot that up. I'm surprised. I don't see Pete second ball break off.
The only thing that surprised me there is typically when you second ball break, you favor closer to the rail. He was more like, I think about here, but you know what? Great, made a ball, great spread.
Yep.
The only issue here is this, but they both go in the top left corner, so no big deal. This ball is not in a great spot. So far from what I see, I like solids, yeah. And
the 7-9,
right.
Yep.
So solids, what do you start with? I wouldn't mind starting with that too if I could. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's better to start with the 7 and then the 3, 4. Oh, the 6. 6 is in big trouble.
Yeah, but I think he'll clear out that 4 ball before the 6 is ready to go anyway. Oh no, you're right. He's gonna have to combo out.
I don't think it goes, does it?
No, that's gonna have to be a combo. It's gonna have to be a combo. And
will you give me 100 if he makes it clean?
Oof! Is this where you cube it? Is this where you cube
all right, 20. Will you give me 20 if he makes it
So you
clean?
think that goes by the 4?
I don't know, but I'll free roll at a 20.
Man, I hate this angle. It's hard to tell.
Honestly, I do think
no,
it
he
goes.
must because he's firing away.
I was gonna stop you if you said that, but
you're right. My goodness.
All right, so now he's in business. Now you got the 4. You probably draw into the 9, and then hold for the 3, and then you got to figure out the.
You don't take the 3 right now? I don't take the 3 right now.
Why the 3?
Because it doesn't go in the left-hand pocket.
Yeah, but if you can make the 4 and draw over, you're all set.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to bridge over a ball though, over the 15 if he does that. I don't mind him going for the 3. The problem with drawing back on the 4. he skewed it a little bit. Yeah,
that's not great.
He skewered the 14.
But Ben's got issues here. His 14 still goes, but this ball's a little tricky. It's in not a very good spot.
Yeah, this is it's looking better for Ben than it did 2 minutes ago. Oh boy! As soon as I said it, commentator's curse. I'll have to apologize to him. And it looks like Pete's going to get right back up to the table. He's got to figure out that 2 ball. And I'm going to have to get better at figuring out these angles from the diagonal camera. I don't have the overhead camera that I normally rely on. 2 ball is the issue here, the problematic ball. I think Pete might even draw into this off the 5. Let's see how he plays this one. Okay, no, he might rely on the 1 ball then. He's got angle going into the 14-2. This would be a nice shot to break it up if he needs to break it up. And I think he does need to break it up. I don't think that it has a possibility of going in the side clean. Ooh, nice shot. Didn't catch the 14 on the way back. So now he's a little bit stuck. He's got to make a decision. Does he carry him off the 4 into the 3? And then hope the 4 gets good? This is a tough decision. Or does he play the long game? Think about the safety here. And try to tie up one of Ben's balls so he can't run out. Now again, Ben's 14 ball goes in the top left. He's okay there. Ben doesn't really have a problem at this point. 12 goes by the 3. So Pete's going to have to be really careful with how he handles the situation. He might be going for the carom 3. Yeah, not a bad not a bad try at it. He's fortunate to come away with that and not scratch. Ben doesn't have a great starting point here. That's the problem for Ben. So if I'm Ben, I might be thinking safe. I might be thinking safe with the 13 ball or with the 15 ball, and staying on this near side of the table. So long as the 2 can't be made. Oh no, okay, he's gonna go for it. 12 ball all the way down in the top left corner. How did he hit it? Beautifully is how he hit it. Real nice shot. Real nice shot by Ben. Probably wanted a better reward than he got now. The 9 ball's not a duck. Gets the roll. Ben Parker. He's got to be feeling good about that. I know he's still got another 6-foot shot, 7-foot shot coming up. But the fact that he's still running on the table, I think he's feeling good about it. He's also got to feel good about the fact that the 14's got the 2 kind of tied up. And that's sort of, he'll release that when he wants to. Okay, overcut on the 15. He's not too bad off for it. I think Pete's going to be forced to slice the 3 ball all the way down the corner. And then the question is whether or not Pete can get a breakup on that 214. That's the real problem here. Or does Pete decide to play a D with it right now? Okay, he's going to go 3 corner. Overcut it, makes one of Ben's. He's not super bothered by it, other than the fact that Ben's got control of the table now. But Ben still has to worry about that 14 and that, I believe it's the 13 on the rail. Okay, so it looks like he'll take the 14 now. And if so, I think the 13 will be the last ball. Oh, no, he's going to play safe. I like this. I like this. That's a smart play by Ben. No need to fire away. Pete might try the 1 rail kick with soft speed to stay in the top left-hand corner of our screen. It's a tough kick, though. Or if he wants to, he could elect to just tie things up. I think he's going to try for that 1 rail kick on the 3. Just missed the kick. And now Ben's got ball in hand, and it's all there for him. Again, he's going to have to, make sure he sorts out the 13 and the 14, how he approaches both those balls. So he's going to elect to pull this one back. Oh boy, did he roll up on it?
Yeah, I think he froze himself to it.
Man.
Now he could go rail first on the 15 if he has to.
And I think he has to. For sure he does, yeah.
Better hit this real slow, because this can get away from you quick. Yeah, that was a good speed.
But now with that bump...
Does the 2 pass?
The 2 pass.
I don't know.
I think with the new cloth, if you're hitting into that first diamond, you might get away with it if you're Pete. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's worth the chance.
I think you're right, because he can bridge it comfortably. He's not jacked up, and it leads. You can slide over for a cut on the 3.
Oh, yeah, Pete's going for it. He's going for it. Oh, he hit it clean in?
Yeah. Great job.
I'm telling you, this diagonal angle, sometimes it fools with me.
So he's in business now. You pocket the 3. Maybe a hair or right to come down for the 8 in the corner. He might have used a little inside, but it looks like he's going to come out with a pretty good look here.
Yeah, that's a nice angle.
Yeah.
So long as he's not super stretched, and I don't think he is. He's at the third diamond. I think he's okay. Plus his cue is like 9 feet tall. It's got that keel wood. All right. Just like that, Pete, 1-0. I like the fact that Ben played a nice safety to get him the ball back and to get that. But when he hit that draw stroke on that 13 ball and froze up on the 2, man,
Yeah,
oh man.
he was in the driver's seat.
He was in the driver's seat.
Made a small mistake. And a little unlucky, too, because a lot of times you just hit that 2 and it moves 1/16 of an inch and you're
clear.
fine. I mean, he just had to not freeze to it.
Right. And it also can't be overstated for folks at home that this is kind of a nerve-wracking tournament. I mean, you're in front of your teammates. You know, everybody's got skin in the game, and you don't want to let them down. And, you know, if you hit that shot 100 times in practice, you're going to come out 100 out of 100 okay. And it's this one where the nerves are high and the tension is there, and all of a sudden you freeze up on the 2 ball. Unfortunate. But Ben's got the break now. Time to respond. And let's see how he does. This match obviously means more to G-Force than it does to Natural Born Killers, just based on the score line.
So Ben might be second ball breaking, too, off the 9.
Yeah, he's out there.
Based on his cue ball. Elise, thanks for sharing the stream.
Second ball for sure.
Yeah, look at this. This
is
a mess.
This is how my second ball break normally comes out. Everything goes student body right, and then you know, you turn it into a moving game.
Now he's got. If you were to play this 14 into the stripe, into the side, and stop the ball to have the 11 next,
and your stripes should free up.
Yeah,
Yep.
this should drive everything
Yep.
this way, and you might be able to run out here.
Yep.
But
I think
he's
he
gonna
likes
pick
the fact that the
solids.
7's in front of 3 of the stripes, and I think he's going to try to use it to his advantage.
Well, if I'm him, I stop running balls like right now, which
Yeah.
well, he could go into the 5 and try to blast everything open.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This actually might no. Yeah, okay. He's got a chance. You pocket the 3, you draw over to here, you play the 2 in the side off the 7, which frees the 7 that way. And then
Yeah, but if he does the 3, he's got to bridge over the 13. I get why he's going for the 4 here. He didn't want to bridge over that ball.
I thought that was the 8 ball down there. Okay, yeah, so that's good. Now he can he could play the 2 in the side off the 7 now.
Yeah, and I don't mind that shot at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's got to tell himself that he doesn't need that blocker. That 7 blocker is not necessary.
Yeah, and it's nice to drive it out of there. And tough to get a shot afterwards, though, I'll tell you. What do you do with the cue ball to try to get a shot
I think
after?
he's going to try to stun off this rail. Put 6 in the top left corner, stun off the rail. Well, he's made a mess.
Yeah, he gave up an open look here, but Pete's got his work cut out, but he could run
And
this out.
I think the 12 ball goes in the corner clean. So Pete's got an advantage here.
What's nice is you got that 14 there to come into all these and break them open later in the rack.
Yeah, advantage Pete.
So here we go. I expect the 14 on the side and hit these pretty firm and open everything up.
Yeah, don't be afraid of some magical 8 ball on the side or something.
I want to split in between the 7 and I think 10. I want to drive that 7 out of there. It's just in too bad of a spot. And I think you're supposed to hit these pretty firm.
Yeah, he's got to power up.
You want these opening up. You don't want to baby it. And
well, they spread all right. Did he get around the 3?
all right, well,
Is he around it? He's got that scratch possibility in the side. I don't like that.
He's going to have to make this with low right and bring the cue ball like this.
Oh, you think he'll get underneath that too?
Yeah, with low right, I think he can, which would then provide him with this, which would lead to that. Or even the 9 in the side if he was to get like here with the cue ball.
I think that's going to be one heck of a stroke to get underneath the 2. I think he's going to hit the 2 fat.
Well, even if he was to go into the 2 a little,
Yeah.
you know,
just don't scratch in the
yeah,
side.
it could bank the 2 out and your cue ball ends up here. You can't go forward.
Yeah, he hit it pretty fat. That's good.
That's great.
That ended up real good.
So now he can pocket this, roll forward for the 9 in the side, or take care of the 15 next. I want to play for the 15 next if the angle's right, which it looks like you can. It looks like he's drawing the ball.
He going forward, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
it's one of those slow roll stuns.
Yeah. Yeah, so now
he's in business.
15.
9 in the
Looks
side.
like he could probably come this way
Yeah.
for the 9 in the side, 8 in the side, or in the other side.
And as they say, Bob is your uncle. Oh, wow, he really stunned that hard.
That new cloth, that got away from him. Now, I don't know if he even has a back cut here. I think he does.
He does. He's got to let the cue ball run 2 rails and come around.
Yeah, so he's got to guard against a scratch in the corner, which I don't think is on, but there could be a scratch 2 rails
into the other side.
Into the side, or if it goes high, you maybe even have that scratch down there. So
for me, if I'm Pete, I cannot. Ooh, he's banking. He's banking. He's back banking. Okay.
8 ball not in the way here.
I thought it would be, but must be a path through.
If he was banking, I almost like the bank this way. If it went, I think it did, but he's got to try to do something.
Yeah, he's got to try to do something, and I don't know if you saw it on the screen, was 1 second left on the shot clock. So folks, the shot clock really plays a role in this thing, and you don't get that chance to second, evaluate it a second time and come back around. All right, so now this is big advantage, Ben. He can free stroke. So long as he's on good sides of the 9, he's safe here everywhere.
What's he going to shoot after this, though?
Oh, I think he's got angle coming towards us, towards the bottom screen, doesn't he? He's going to go off the bottom rail.
Draw out, maybe?
Oh, he drew out?
Yeah, because now you got the 3 of the 6. If he had fell short, he'd have the 6,
Yeah.
I think that was a wise move.
Yeah, he's just going to wrap around the 9, I would think.
He could even just roll to the rail.
Okay.
He came out. He had a nice angle. So, pocket the 6, a little bit of draw. Even a stop shot's okay. Just don't want to get frozen on the rail. Oh, perfect.
Nice stroke. And I like that he let it out, too.
Yeah. Ben looked very loose for being down 1-0
right.
first set. He ran those out very nice. And that'll bring us to 1-1. And we'll be back after a quick commercial.
That's okay. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna show you my toys.
All right, guys. So here we go. Have Pete, Sneaky Pete here.
Breaking 1-1. Paulo Faria, how we doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Paulo. So, second ball break. See, he's getting pretty good spreads off that second ball break. I might have to move my cue ball in and try from there. Because look at these spreads. I mean, I think he broke dry, but great spread.
Well, that's the danger, right? So, if I'm Ben, I'm licking my lips right now.
Yeah.
This is a wide open table, and I get choice. And they kind of both look good. I like solids a little bit better. Yeah. The 5 ball is the tricky one. Get to the 5, but everything else is open. You can start with the 7. If he's comfortable bridging over the 8. If not, then maybe he's considering the 11 ball. Yeah, okay, 6 balls.
The problem with stripes is if you were to go stripes and you get down to the 8, it's surrounded by solids.
Right, yeah.
So yeah,
I love solids, but
the 5 is just the one you're gonna have to come down and get pretty good on. Which you can use the 1, the 7.
I think he's going to do that right here if he can avoid that pile.
Jacked up, he's not. I don't think so. He's going to run into the 7.
Okay, so I thought he was going to jack up. I thought he was going to put some draw on it because he was jacked up.
All right, so now he's getting a little out of line. Now he's going to have to shoot the 2.
Or the 4. He's got the 4 on the side.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was the 8.
Yeah,
shoot the 4.
our colors at home, folks, our colors, the 4 and the 8 look almost identical.
All right, so the 4, drift up for the 2, stop there for the 3.
The 7 leads to the 5. Yeah.
Leads you to the 5.
But I'd hate to have the 5 be the key ball. You know what I mean?
hate for it to be the last. Oh, I hate for it to be the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm
ball's the
saying.
problem,
Yeah. I'd hate for it to be the last.
Oh, you know
ball.
what? He could go now. Draw out a little.
And I like that.
Yeah,
better.
I like this.
I like that better. That's a nice plan.
He might be just going forward.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just pocket the ball and you're good.
Yeah, he's got an angle. Use some low left here. Let the cue ball squared out.
Yeah.
Might not be that high up table, but
just get yourself in the space.
Oh.
He's okay. He's got the
got the deuce. Yeah, it felt great on it too. Boom, boom, boom. Right?
And this is the danger of when you hit that nice spread, but you don't land anything in 8-ball, you're dead in the water.
Yeah, but Pete got unlucky not to make a ball because he hit him good. They were moving, and
right.
That's why I gave up the second ball break, is for what you said. I got sick of crushing them and making nothing and watching my opponent run out. It's so disheartening. And just like that,
this is a big
Ben Parker, 2-1 lead, 2 in a row.
Big rack, and here he comes with the break, right? So everything that his team needed, he just got. Let's see what he does here. If he stays with the second ball break, or if he goes back to the head ball.
And I'll tell you, for momentum purposes, Ben just ran out the rack before this. He ran out 5+ balls, maybe the whole rack. I can't remember. Then Pete jumps up, breaks dry, and Ben runs out. Pete's sitting in the chair, not hitting balls. Ben's done the majority of the work the past 2 racks.
Right.
So not a good feeling if you're Pete, unless you step up to an easy shot. But if you step up to a tester, you're like, man, I've barely hit any balls,
right.
Especially for the past 8 minutes. And
I'll tell you, if you're a fan of G-Force today, this is everything that the doctor ordered, and a 2-point lead is not safe in this type of tournament.
Yeah. Do you think there's less break and runs in 8-ball or 10-ball in this?
10-ball.
Yeah, I agree.
If you don't pop that first ball and get that side pocket,
yeah,
it turns into mayhem.
Yeah, sure does. And even if you lay down a great break, make 4 balls, if you don't get a look, you're done.
You're done.
You know.
That's why for the 10-ball sets, and I think both captains are aware of this, you want somebody in there that's going to be a decent mover, a decent safety player.
Yeah.
Just because it's going to turn into that one of those types of racks anyway.
So, just what the doctor ordered if you're Pete. Now Ben's stepped up and had a dry break, and Pete's got not as nice of a spread as Ben had, but one that's runnable, and he's got comfortable opening shots.
I'll tell you, you got to choose. I think you have to choose solids, which is what Pete's doing.
Yeah,
but there's some real problems with that, with the fact that the 8-ball's encased.
Yeah, and the 4-ball.
And the 4-ball's kind of.
You can solve
rough.
The 2-ball now.
Yeah.
That might actually help. Now he might be able to use that 2-ball to go into the 8 later, or do something with the 4. But you
take the 7 here, withdraw, and try to drag into the 8. I mean, it's kind of risky.
Actually, it's not bad, because you know what? If you were to fall underneath, or here, you might end up with the 4.
Exactly. And is he going for? Oh, he looks like he's going for the 5. Though.
He could pocket the 7 and go forward and try to manufacture that 4 out of there.
Yeah, he went for the 5. So he's gonna have to work his way back down again.
No, he could pocket the 7 if I was capable.
That goes by the 4?
If I was capable of drawing a straight line. Let me try a third time here.
Well, I can't do it with my imagination. So how are you gonna do it with?
That still had a little bend to it, but.
Yeah, I think the 4 must have a piece of him.
You know what he's going to do? He wants to drift down off the 6 for the 4.
Yeah.
2 balls from now. I don't know if he got the angle.
I'll tell you, though, if you're doing that now, here's the problem.
No angle.
Here's the problem that I see with it. Even if he got good for it, you still have to crack open the 8. The 8's got no pocket.
Yeah, true that.
So at some point in time, I think if I'm Pete, I'm saying to myself, stop the run.
Yeah.
Get in front of Ben.
At this point now, where you haven't solved either one of these problems, then I'm inclined to agree with you here. I would consider. What could you do? Could you maybe shoot the 2?
Or even play a safe
down
off
here
the
to
7
try
and
to
get
block
underneath
that
the
pocket?
pile. Yeah,
Off the 7, like
yeah,
down
just
here
sit
or
on it.
something?
Right, exactly. Because Ben has nothing going up table.
Oh, you know what? I like that. Because the 7 goes like this and hangs around this corner where you could later use it to go into the 4 or into the 8. That's the move.
Exactly.
Overcut the 7, let it linger, and have the
Exactly.
cue ball come here. Even if you don't weld them to the 9, you're fine. You're really unlucky.
He's
if you
going
give
for
up
the
a low.
breakup. Look, he's drawing. He's going for the breakup. He
Oh,
got the
look
breakup.
at this. Yeah, solved both
Oh,
problems.
what a nice shot by Pete Brown.
Now, the only issue here is this is his only shot now.
He's going to be
And he's going to be
over a ball,
running into balls.
3/4 of a table down.
This is going to be really tough to get that
Oh, and he's
cue
going
ball.
offhand. He's going left-handed.
This is really tough to get the cue ball out of here for a shot at the 6 of the 2 next. He's really got to put some speed in this one, I think.
Left-handed. Let's see. Yeah, tough
Well,
shot.
he got the cue ball out wonderfully, but he did miss the ball. So now Ben.
Again, if I'm Ben, I'm licking my lips, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you start with the 11 here. And
even if you start with the 9, it's okay.
You could go into the 14 and push it this way, or you could go into the 10. I don't like going into the 10 because I don't want to drive it. I don't want to drive the 8 and the 10 congestion over here because the 6 blocks everything in the corner.
To me, I like the 9 ball because the 9 sets up for the 14 right side.
Oh, yeah. Come to
I
here.
don't mind that. Yeah, it's a nice, easy. Yeah, and he overstroked it, though, didn't he?
He sure did.
Oh,
but
man.
he's going to have either a cut here or a cut here or a cut here. He doesn't have anything with these 3 that I see. I think he's going to have to shoot. What would you shoot?
13 right corner, I think, is the one I would like to.
Yeah, I kind of.
Oh, no, he's going 15 right
I
corner.
think I agree with you.
How did he get it?
Hit it
Oh,
great.
yeah.
You know what I liked about the 13 is you could have just played your cue ball into these.
Right.
And you're going to end up with a look somewhere. And
yeah.
even if you don't, you got balls to manufacture.
Right.
And that ball, whatever. But
yeah,
we all have different patterns.
For sure. And
he got good on this. Okay, so now he's got the 10. I like to slide over into the 14. If you hit the high side, it comes this way for the 11. You might just move the 14 to the corner.
Right.
Okay, missed that.
No,
Nothing
it's
wrong
perfect,
with that.
perfect,
Yeah, I
nothing
thought he
wrong.
had to go into the 14. So now you pocket the 11. Your cue ball probably falls around here. But this could get tricky at the end here with the 8 ball because that 6 ball is blocking it in the top left corner.
Yeah, the angle here is going to be. Oh, he hit that nice.
Yeah, but
he can go up. He can go off the bottom rail and back up again. It's a 1 rail, right? Exactly.
Like this or like
yeah,
this?
Now you're worried about the 6 ball, but yeah. I'm just hitting it with it's kind of center top. Yeah, just 1 rail, come
We
back
hit that
up, and
beautiful.
he hit it nice,
He
didn't
hit
he?
that really beautiful.
And I like that. Don't make it too complicated.
Yep.
Center table. He can make this cut.
And Ben Parker getting it done.
Just like that. 3-1, huh?
3-1 lead.
All right, so he's more center table now, isn't he? He's going head ball. He's going head ball.
And I don't
absolutely.
blame him because he broke dry twice. But I'll tell you what, that rack was not a good rack. Those balls did not break open naturally for a tight rack. Something was loose there because he hit them pretty square, and they just didn't break apart.
I mean, I guess I got to go solids here if I'm Ben. Because of his starting shot. The 2 ball is free. The 7 ball is free. There's not a lot of problems if you take solids. It's just the 8 ball. Might be able to nudge the 8 ball when you take the 2. Yeah, but I'd start up. Yeah, and that's reasonable. The 1 ball or the 6, either one. Ooh, just fired away a little too quick. Now, if I'm Pete, I'm jumping on solids.
Yeah. Two ball and this 2 ball 7 is your big concerns. And it does appear that the 8 also goes in the bottom left corner.
Right.
If not, you can use the 2 ball to manufacture.
Nudge it out. Yeah, nudge it out. Or nudge it out with a 7, either way.
JR in the chat, what's up, buddy?
Is Pete balding? Hey, age is unkind to us all, man.
When people have like real short, what I don't know what you call it, not buzz cut, but like real short like that.
Right, it looks that way, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, he could grow out locks. I mean,
right.
I don't think so. I'd bet against it, but I mean, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, he could come out looking like a Viking. I know I won't. But
yeah, me either. Me either. All right, so Pete chose solids, and
I think he's going to use the 2 now and probably nudge the 8. He's got the angle.
Yeah,
but if you nudge the 8, then the problem is if you get caught behind that 14, what is that, 14-10?
Yep. 12, I think.
Or 14-12. You're in a little trouble.
No, actually, I think you're right. I don't know. 10, 12.
Yeah, 14-10. 12
Call it the 11.
Well, 10.5.
10.5. Yeah, I think you got to go into the 2 here because it's so hard to get good on it later, unless you were to come down table and play it off the 9 on the side.
Yeah.
Which
he's drawing away from the 8. He's not going to even mess with the 8.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to go into the 15. Get that 15. So now he opened up
the back corner. Yeah, the top right corner.
Well, no, he opened up a larger window of position for the 8 in the corner. Because
you
the 15,
think that goes by the 14?
I think it does, or he would have moved it. With the 15 here, like it was, you have a very small window to get good on the 8. Or like you said, it does open up that later if the opportunity presents itself. But I think it's going to be very difficult.
Here's what I see Pete doing. He's going to make the 1. He's going to make the 7 as his last ball, the key ball, and he's going to roll up underneath the 8 for the top right.
You pick the 7 now because you leave the 1 as a nice insurance ball because you can't predict how you're coming out of this. So you pick the 7. And you go into these, whether you draw or go to the rail and blast everything out. He's drawn into them.
It's risky.
No, it's not. I mean, everything's risky when you're doing stuff like this. But then see, look, he had a great insurance ball. He could have
off the rack.
Well, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but again, Ben Parker licking lips.
So he wants to really solve these 2 now because once he gets up table, life gets pretty easy.
For sure.
And even if the 9 gets weird, he could play it in the side, maybe clean or off the 8.
Yeah, he just needs to make sure he gets out into space off this ball.
This is key right here.
Yeah. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
That was the key ball right there, I'll tell you. Because now, look, he would have been a business. He could have shot 13, then he could have either had the 9 or one of these. So,
yeah, I don't think you need to hit it that hard. Just get yourself in the space, and you're going to have one of your 3 shots in the top portion of our screen.
He's going 7. He's got to go 7 now. So now the 7, then the 5, then the 8, and 3-2. You got to get pretty good on this ball because you don't want to fall short, that's for sure. If you fall on the high side, it's not the end of the world. Oh, you got perfect. Yeah, nice little drawback, just a little bit.
Yeah, make sure you hit that window, that 10-15 window.
This draw can take off on you.
Oh, yeah, new cloth.
But with how this shot lays, I expect him to handle it. Yeah,
good.
Perfect. So Pete's going to make short work of that out and bring us to a 3-2 game. All right, so bend to break.
He's going first ball breaking
Yeah,
now too.
I like both the adjustments because if you're breaking dry, you got to make an adjustment.
Did he pick up that? Yes, he did. Stripe went down.
And pretty decent layout. Not fantastic, but not terrible. Quick thoughts. I like probably solids.
Solids. Yeah, and it's an easier starting position too. It's easier starting ball.
So, I think
The 3 ball is my concern here.
The
6 goes in the bottom right. The 7 goes. The 2 goes. The 3 ball is a concern.
I think the move is you want to get about here somewhere later in the rack and fire the 7 in and go into all this mess hard with the cue ball and just move everything around because your 3 ball's in big trouble.
Yeah, but
the 6.
The
Actually,
6 can be made in both bottom corners. Though.
Yeah, but you still got to free the 3.
Yeah, it goes up
actually,
table.
You don't
it goes
have
up
to.
table.
Yeah,
it goes up
it
table.
might go up there,
Yeah.
but then the 8. Well, then if you can clear those and not touch the 8 would go here.
For
but
me,
you're
it's all
talking
about
a lot of fine point moving
right.
around, not
That's what it
touching
comes
balls,
down to.
small
Right.
surface area.
Right, and that's where it's going to get. It's gonna test whether or not he's got his speed control down. That's for sure.
I would shoot the 2 here, and come to like here.
Oh, he's doing your idea. He's going into the pile with the
I
7.
don't think he's got enough angle. Yeah, see, no good. He could have pocketed the 2 and came to here, or I'm sorry, lower, and then pocketed the 6 and went into him. I think that would have been a little better.
We're gonna find out if that 3 ball goes up table right now by the 5.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it does or doesn't.
It does. I don't know if it does.
It's
but
tight.
He could try to play it off the 5 in the side. He could. He
You know-
could maybe cut the 2 all the way up.
But the thing is this: if you don't think you're gonna run out, I would not move that 3. If you don't think you're gonna run out, that 3's staying there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, playing off the 2 might be a little wiser here.
And I like that. Just get yourself. Oh yeah, I like that by Ben. You just get yourself into the mess and say, Pete, you deal with it.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Now, if Pete back cuts that 11 and opens everything up, game on.
Yeah, I don't know if I would gamble here being down
What else
3-2.
is he at?
Safety,
Safe?
yeah.
Yeah, safe.
He could just shoot the 11 this way and use low left, try to pull him behind the 14. He could.
Yeah, he's pulling.
He could maybe even thin and try to get the cue ball here behind the 2. I don't like that.
No, he's pulling. He's going defensive.
Brother, go ahead and escape.
All right, so that's an unfortunate scratch by Ben Parker. Okay, Pete. It's going to look to even this up 3-3. This is the big shot right here. Does he need to free up the 8? I don't know if you do. But it looks like he's going to try to run into it. Oh, no, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not. He's not going to run into it. He just changed his angle. He's going to go to the 14 next. And that's fine. Handle the down the low table stuff, and then you work your way up. Yeah, and I like this. I like this by Pete. Get yourself center table again. You can go forward 2 rails. You can go off 1 rail.
I like 1 rail for the 11 next.
Yeah.
Come off for the 11. And then you're in business. Then you have options depending on how you fall.
He's looking good. He's looking good.
So let's see. What do you do? 11, 9, 15, 13, 8. Or you could go 11, 13, 15, 9, 8. Or
Yeah.
you could save the 15 for last, but you have to cross over.
For me, I like the 13 last because I think it leads naturally to the 8.
Me too. I like the 9, the 15.
And then the 13
draw
just
back,
leads
Draw
there.
back for the 13 on the side, or maybe it's somewhere in the corner.
Yeah,
But
because that 5-2 window is gigantic, right? So I like the 13 as my last ball, my key ball, and then everything else should play out. And I think that's what Pete's deciding right now. He's probably just gonna just punch at it and hold it up for the 15. Yeah, and that looks good. Snap it back a little bit, and you're almost home free. And that looks good
Yeah,
too.
perfect.
That looks good.
Yeah, just roll forward a little bit. Even if he's a slightly on the wrong side, even if you roll forward to like there, no problem, you know.
Yeah, he's gonna feel comfortable with that type of shot. It's gonna be a 5-foot angle. He's fine.
Looks a little, body language looks a little hesitant. He might be thinking about going forward with high left.
Well, he's hitting low middle, isn't he? Oh, okay. He
likes that
doing that thun roll.
Yeah, drag draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, ran out these balls pretty good. Has a good look at the 8 here. Trying to knot it up 3-3.
Yeah. And that's the thing I like about 8-ball. You know, you can see 3 or 4 different ways to get to the end game. But I think most people, oh boy, as soon as I said, commentator curse. But, you know, that last ball that leads up to the 8, I think is crucial. You know, the key ball. Now Ben is got to jump all over this. He's got to get to the hill, put the pressure on Pete, get his team right back into it.
And he's got no reason not to, because he can slow roll this up, come out to here, stop shot on the 2.
And he can go either way, 2-4 or 4-2. It's fine. That 3 ball is the last ball for me.
Yeah, the problem with this is now you have to draw back on new cloth, which can get really funny.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to fall short. You're in big trouble. You don't want to go long. You're not in big trouble, but
Right.
You're not great. It's hard to fall perfect on this ball. See what I'm saying?
Oh, he got good on the 5. He got good
Well,
on the 5.
he got on the better side than the short side,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have been there. He would have been on the rail for the 3s. Would have been tough.
Right.
He might have to go
Just
up
got to
table.
yank it back. I would just yank it back. Oh, he did. Oh, you're right. 2 rails. I like it.
As long as he gets off that rail. But you see what I'm saying about...
Yeah, that new cloth.
That's why that first shot, I really like to go that way first. Would have prevented some of these... but he managed it well. It's just one of those percentage things, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, where maybe he would have went from a 85% chance out to a 92% chance out.
Right.
You know? But regardless, he gets out, and
Yep.
on the hill, 4-2 lead.
All right, back to the second ball break, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that head ball break he was not happy with.
But I think he, yeah, I don't blame him. But it was because of the rack, in my opinion. He had hit him. Wow, look at this, though. He gets great spreads.
He really does.
And he makes a ball. The 15 is in a bad spot, so I'm quickly looking for solids
Yes.
first.
Yep.
And I don't see a big issue with solids.
3 balls a good starting point.
Yeah, and you'd like to get rid of that 7-5 and work your way up table.
Right. Now, he's going to have to end up on the good side of the 1-2 eventually. He's going to have to end up on the left-hand side of the 1-2. But, you know, work the bottom here, get rid of that, the 3, 7, and 5 like you mentioned. And then so long as he can approach that 1-2 on the good side, he's in good shape here. All right, he doesn't mind that nudging it. You still have the 4, you still have the 7, you still have options
I
here.
think now audible 4, 5.
Yep.
And
I like that audible.
Audible. Yeah. Omaha. You remember Peyton Manning?
Oh yeah.
Omaha. I miss Peyton. He was my favorite
Was he?
during
Yeah.
that era. Yeah.
And Marvin Harrison, right? Now,
Yeah,
you want to know how old you are now?
Wayne.
Marvin Harrison Jr. just got drafted.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was it? Reggie Wayne?
Reggie Wayne,
Yeah. And then they had that running back that was pretty good for a
oh,
little while.
Edgerrin
James.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a nice Colts
I
team.
used to love betting on the Colts. They played the Chicago Bears, I think it was. I was in Orlando, Florida with a couple buddies, and we call our book back then where you're betting 100 times, by the times, 100 times. We call like 5 minutes before kickoff. Devin Hester, we're laying 7. We got the Colts laying 7, right? Between all three of us, we got, I don't know, 3,000 to 5,000 on it, right? And this is like 20 years ago.
Right.
Devin Hester, we make the bet. Game starts 5 minutes later. Devin Hester runs back the opening kickoff. We're down 7-0 in the first 12 seconds. And the Colts came back to cover.
So that shot just now from Pete, this is something that me and Kevin Bourne were talking about this past week. That inside spin on the new cloth is not grabbing. And so he wanted to be wider to the left so he could pick up the 1-2. And then he ended up running right into them. So now he's got this type of angle to try to get those balls squared away. And it's just because of the new cloth, folks. You know, that inside spin. Yeah, he hit that real good.
But lost weighty a little bit.
Yeah, well.
You know what, though? You got to make a tough shot here.
But if you do,
6,
so long as you're not behind the 9.
Drag over, you got the 7, and you got a small window to play for the 8, but it's all very doable. Even if he was to get too thin on the 7, he could cut it and go back and forth, playing back and forth for the window.
Oh, he's going forward? Yeah, no, I don't mind that. Yeah, because he's just rolling forward. He don't need to hit it very hard. I like that speed.
No, hit it great.
I like that speed.
Yeah, and this is pretty good.
Now he just has to hit it medium speed, and he's going to hit the window naturally.
Yeah, just...
Don't get behind the 14, of course.
Yeah.
But he's going to have a natural window here.
With the new clock, this low right can get away from you.
Right.
I definitely hit this on the softer side, not fearing the 9 and 15. You know how hard it is to block yourself with the 9 and 15 if you try to right now?
Right.
So just
pocket the
be
ball.
on the side of gentleness. Yeah, there you go.
As soon as you said it, he almost did.
Well, I'll be honest. He was straighter than I thought.
Right.
I didn't think he could do it if he tried to.
Right.
So I was wrong there, but he felt great on
I
that.
have to put a little left on it just to make sure you bend around the 15. I can't tell.
Nah, he's fine. Just draw. Perfect.
Nice shot.
And that brings us to 4-3. Pete battling back.
All right, head ball break again, Ben Parker.
It looks dry.
And a great spread. Pete is salivating.
Yeah, if he could get out here, he'd have momentum and the break. So not a terribly easy out though. The 5 and
don't like solids. Look where the 1 is.
That's an issue.
Look where the 1 is. That's the bigger issue. Because I can solve the 12. I think that's the 12. It's locked up on the 5. Or no, the 10 ball. I'm sorry. I can solve the 10. I can't solve the 1.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, that 10's tough to solve because the closest ball to it's here, so it's hard to break up.
I'm saying that assuming that I can go up in the top left corner with it.
Oh, once you clear these, that later in the rack you can shoot it up
or
there.
The top right, yeah.
Oh,
top
yeah,
right.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but I think it goes top left even too, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm not as bothered by the 10. Now, positionally, it's hard to get to. He's going solids. Okay. All right.
Now, if he could get to the 9 with high right and blast a 9 out of there, I like solids.
That one is brutal though.
So, yeah, but that's what he was trying to fix right then and there.
Yeah.
And had he fixed it, every other ball would have had a hole.
The problem is it's so hard to fix. You're going through
Yeah.
two blockers, not one.
You know what the
I mean?
problem was he had to use a lot of inside English at a fast pace, and
On a
on
new
new cloth, the inside didn't catch enough, and that's why he didn't get into the 9-1 enough.
And we were just talking about that inside spin on new cloth, man. It's just not grabbing. All right, so now he's got some work to do. And that one ball, at some point I think I stopped my run.
That's what.
Yep,
that's what
there
he
it
did.
is. Yep. And then eventually I need to put a breakup ball there.
Yeah, I would try to desperately get a ball by the
Yeah.
side. Like the corner's not bad, especially once the 11. This corner's not bad, but you gotta get the 11 out. He's first, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or let your opponent get the 11 out before you put a solid up there.
Now if I'm Ben, I can play the long game here. I don't need to try to run out here.
No, there's no life to running out here. He's just gonna try to hang the 11. Oh, yeah, okay.
No, he's trying to make it. But for me, that 11 is your only avenue into breaking up the 9.
Yeah,
I'd like for him to
pocketing
stop
that.
the run at some point here. I think he's going to try to pick up the 12 and then pick up the 13. And I think eventually it's going to be a mistake. I would rather just set the 13 up for a breakup ball.
Or he could maybe gently bank this ball into this type of area to
Right.
use it to break open the 9 later on.
You've got to convince yourself in these situations that you have the time. You have the time because the other guy can't get out. And I know it's hard to convince yourself sometimes because you don't want to give up the table, but I think it's the right thing to do for Ben. And if I'm gonna set up a breakup ball, I might as well make it the 13. Yeah, exactly. It's on the rail. Get it out of there. It's not helping you down there.
Bank it to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. He went. Ooh.
Oh, how about that shot?
I like that.
Yeah, he solved his.
Oh, I
was-
like that.
That was sweet.
Can we?
But-
well, I was gonna say replay, but that's just a breakup shot.
The only issue is if that one goes, he's giving Pete a chance to run out.
Does it? Oh, I mean,
We're gonna.
all right,
tell-
well, Pete.
we're
Let's
gonna-
see Pete's body language.
Yeah, I love the body language. I love it.
When I'm at the table, you know exactly what's going on.
Yeah. You can usually tell with me too most of the time. But. All right, so I'm gonna guess yes that it goes, but he's got to hit it perfect.
Right. And again, with the new cloth, like you were saying, a little bit easier to pocket, just a little bit.
But you lose Whitey like you just did there.
Yep. Yeah. All right, he's gonna try to yank back with the 4, or is he gonna go? Okay, he's going for the 1 now.
If the 1 does not go, I like doing something up with it right now.
Yeah, bump it off the 9.
Because
Get in front.
Ben still has work to do with the out. Assuming this ball goes, he has to manufacture something here. Assuming the 14 doesn't go in the bottom left.
I agree with you, partner. I'd probably just try to soft bump it off the 9, get in front of it.
I would probably go into it with follow and try to leave the force follow that cue ball up to the top rail. And I don't even care where the 9 goes.
Oh,
it
look
went.
at that. Look at that.
And a look. He'd love to be able to just soft shoot it down and then come out and split these balls.
Now
or
here's
even
where
go
I need
into
your
that
eye.
ball.
I need your eyes, partner.
Yeah.
Does that 5 go in the top right corner by the 9?
Yeah, but it goes here, which is even better.
Oh, you think it goes there?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I think it does.
You think that's clearance from the 10? Okay.
I sure do. So if I'm Pete, I want to make that ball there, and I want to go into the stripe as a stopper because if you land nice on the 5, you got the 5, you roll forward, you take care of the 7-3.
So I think that's why he took a step back. He's looking at that 5 ball, and he's saying to himself, does this go? And I think he called this extension. That's a smart play.
The only issue with the pattern I said is I don't know if the 8 goes clean. It does look like it goes clean here, but it's tough to tell. Roll this in, use the ball as a stopper.
Those short distance back cuts are always harder shots than you think they should be.
Now, might have caught a roll if that welded up and does not go to the corner.
5 goes now and the 10 doesn't. Or yeah.
And if I'm Ben and this ball doesn't go, then I'm going to use low left and I'm going to play off it now and draw up table.
Yep.
Because you got to free it. And it might